So, welcome to the next part of the video. I always used to think when I used to see the other videos in the GitHub in the YouTube, that how the developers make all the kind of stuff like that. So, if you think I am making something boring, that is fine. But see, I want to tell you that why I am making this. After my daughter came, I thought that I am making this video for her actually. So whenever I'm making a video, I always think that she will be seeing when she becomes an adult or something like that. So I don't care about subscribers, I don't care about nothing. First I thought to make the videos very slowly, but then I thought it will be very boring. There are so many YouTube channels out there anyway, so people can subscribe them, and I am not someone who can be popular in very public. So anyways, let me know if you are enjoying this video or not. What I am doing is I'll be making the entire thing very uncut, and then I'll make some other kind of videos for the general public, I think, to sell courses and stuff. So basically this video will be uncut. So what we are doing, we are making the API for Upstox. So I had set it up in the GitHub, and I have downloaded it in my, where is it? Yeah, here as you can see from here, and I have also imported in my Visual Studio Code. If you do not know how to the basics of the Visual Studio Code, or what I am talking about importing a GitHub or Git, in that case just watch some other YouTube videos and make yourself comfortable. And by the end of this entire video, you don't need any of these things at all, because I am making the entire library, right? So but this video is basically a documentation that how I am doing that. Anyways, first let me, I did a right click and it came after 2-3 seconds lag. I literally need to change something. So tutorials, let's say. So why Pinakin? Pinakin is a software actually, which is a private software I made, and I made it for sub-brokers. It is a multi-API, something like Tetron, but very different than Tetron. It is like multi-API, multi-broker terminal, and that is made for sub-brokers with minimum of 100 clients. And whatever I am giving you right now is in the same structure I use there, similar structure I use there. I do not share something which has age. So I am sharing a depreciated content. If anybody can see. If somebody does not want to see, that is fine also. So I'll be creating 2 files here. My laptop is insanely slow, forgive me for that. Add a new file. I'm literally struggling right now to move. It will be better I just copy paste this 3 times, then rename it. The first file will be ravan.py. And why Ravan? It is actually the main structure of Pinakin software, which you can see a basic glance here. Okay, so I'm maintaining the same structure. Okay. Pinakin bot, admin, like that. Brokers, you can see the Ravan file is here. So first file is Ravan, and second file will be Upstox. Let me change the extension here. From Ravan, import everything. See what Ravan will contain. Ravan will contain something like whatever is needed for the multi-broker stuff. So basically like this can be used for as a token or something for other broker also, right? So I made a structure like that. Why this line is coming, I do not know. Anyways, that is fine. Let me just copy the functions there. And by the end of this video, I'll be uploading this as a Python package, so you do not have to see this video also. You can just skip the entire video and install and use it. I'll make a separate video on how to use it, like importing request, importing datetime. I just want to do everything at once. The login one will go in the Upstox file. Now see, in the first video I have shown, I have showed you that how I use the basically ChatGPT to code this out. Now I'll just wrap it. Okay, I'll wrap it into something else, into a function. For that I will need login to set. So see, I am basically making a function called authorization. So before you fire some order or something like that, sometimes it happens that broker gets logged out, right? So in that case, it is very, very important that you must see that if you are logged in or not. Why this is too much. This code came from the first video. If you do not remember, you can just revisit that code, that video. Headers. We already have the headers in the crates, and the crates will come from here. And let me do it. I'll only scan for value error. I'm not using ChatGPT right now because ChatGPT is pretty well at structuring in the exact way I want. Logging into, so I need to know that in which account I am logging right now. If you have seen my older videos, you know that I do not type in a very sloggy way that I am doing now. It is all because of keyboard, and I cannot keep complaining about the keyboard for this entire video. So that is fine. I am doing that. I'll get it changed. And I need to check if the JSON data, profile data is came. No, I just make it JSON data to make the structure proper. I usually use JSON data all the time, so you can call this actually superstitious, because see, when I see my code, I just know that what is where. It is because of the same structure I maintain. See, the status will be coming success here, right? So I need to check that if the status is success, then do the other kind of stuff, or otherwise don't waste time. Print that authentication is successful. And once you do that, write the name of the guy whose authentication is successful. Similarly, like conversing to a human. I do not need to store anything else here. I do not need to see the user profile data also, because it is only the authentication module. And see, I coded it for getting the profile details, but I am using this as an authentication module. So every time I fire an order, I'll just run this API and check that if the API works or not. See, I cannot use the margin API because sometime in the middle of the night you might have seen that our broker shows zero margin. So the margin API, position API, they interact with the backend database. I know profile also interact with backend database, but those database are different. Okay, so they usually do some jobs in the middle of the night. So the margin API will show that it is not working. So in that case, our API will fail if you are testing in the midnight. So that's why I'm using the profile one. The profile one is a sort of must because many data comes from there. Authentication successful, return case else. I'll just write status failed and raise a key error. Why I'm doing that? Oh, wait. Raise key. You can raise any kind of error, so I just raised key error because once upon a time when I learned how to do this, I raised key error. Since then I am doing that. So I am not someone who traditionally learned anything at all. I just learned from the internet like you guys are doing right now. Let me check if this is working or not. Oh no, it will not work because see the entire kernel has been totally disconnected because I took some time to make this video. So anyways, that will fail anyways because I need to run the entire thing. So something happened. So let me check what happened first. At least you can see the creates is not defined. It creates itself is not defined. How it can be defined? Because it forgot everything at the first place. So I imported this. I ran the test. I defined the crates. I ran this. Oh, I need to do this also. I have to again log in. And again, I must tell you, please do not use my account. Use your account. I have already shown how to do that. And if you are you have open account under me, just ask somebody in the Unofficed. They will just give you the complete code in tune to your account because that's the extra benefit you get when opening the account under me. Now see, it has been logged in. You got the access token here. Now I'll be running this. I missed the headers. Why? API headers. So what is happening? API headers. I think I have saved the header in a wrong way. So if let me just print the crates and check it. I usually put the API, not auth. It should be under API. Because see, under the API tag, oh no, I have to do it again. Let me just refresh it and see if it works or not. If it works, then I do not know to do it again. It is not working. So I literally need to do it again. When you type this pin and the code comes, you need to literally do it in a very small span of time. Now everything is hanged again. Yeah, so the crate variable structure is like that way that whatever comes from the API will be going inside the API, this API, and whatever I give, it will go inside the auth. I again clicked something. No, sorry, it has been done. Now let me just run it. It still has not been done. What I have changed? I must have done something wrong. Please work. And this should work also. Yeah, it worked. I understood from the tick sign. See, authentication is successful. So you can always see that authentication is successful or not. I do not need the profile data. What should I do with the profile data? So this is the margin information which you have seen I have done in the last video. In this case, I will just attach them in the, let me attach it. Okay, it is hanged. Request, date, time. Always check what you are importing here, okay? Because you need to keep tag of them, otherwise you will get error when you do stuff. I add a new function, a new library name logging, so I am just adding it. And this is the new function. It will go to the Upstox. Now I'll code the margin part. So for the margin, I handle the error in a very different way. I'll show. Let me first install it. Install curlyfy. I need to import curlyfy also. So what does curlyfy do? If some error comes, it will basically show you that what error is there. But it will show the error. No, it will not show what error is there. It will show the exact curl request which I am making to the server, so that I can compare it. So whenever you are contacting the Upstox support or any broker support, the best way will be that if you give them the exact curl request, because curl is platform independent. Most of you are doing Python, but they can do in, what you can say, they can do in JavaScript also, right? So in that case, the curl will help very much. So that's why for debugging purpose I used curl. I'll show how I use that. Let me change the URL. Everything will be pretty much same. Now what I have to do, I have to store the data. So instead of writing this, I'll just store the data. Creates API. See, it goes to the API. So it will store the entire data of margin. This is underscore data. And there is no need to file return. Let me just write status field. The key error is fine, and if else, if the response is okay, fine. Now see how I'll insert. Let's check if it is not working. Now see, remember I told you that in some cases that margin works at the middle of the night. Sorry, everything works at the middle of the night, but the margin does not work. So that's what I will check. Okay. So let me push this else function inside this. Let me make another else function here. So if the response is not success, it means margin is working. And the margin is what. See, if the response is not success even after the 200 error, 200 comes, means the page is responding okay, then it does not need to check that, because the page is responding. So in case the page is not responding, so I will just check the URL of profile, that if profile is working or not. It will handle the error actually, so it will not give any error. So I actually need to get some error so that I can debug it properly. So I'll just write the URL directly. Again, as you can see, I am making this not like I am not a Superman, so I am just making completely directly. So it may take insane time because they literally used a huge team of developers to develop the API wrapper, and I am coding at the 5:30 a.m. I'm looking at that part that is showing my clock and other dashboard which I monitor websites and stuff like that. If the response code is not okay, then fail to retrieve data status. And let me show the exact status code in this case. It only happens in the night that the margin API is not working, but I am too much emphasizing on this fact because sometimes in the middle of the market it also happens. So I sometimes get scared that what happened, the customer took out the money or Upstox blocked the money or what happened exactly. The API is totally gone. So if the API is gone, it means that, oh, I am fine, I do not need to follow up. Otherwise everyone gets scared. You must have seen this many times that in the middle of the market there is no margin. So you need to handle those things in the code itself. Upstox is down in margin. See, what I am doing, that I am checking that if this link is working. So if this link is working and it is showing error, then it will throw error. If this is not working, then it will check that if the profile link is working. If the profile is working, then it means that Upstox is down in only in the margin API, but everything else is working. But everything is working perfectly. And in that case, return credits, there is no error. Now in this one, if there is error, I need to know the exact error, and I do not want to know the error unless I enable. So that's why I use the login function. Errors in the margin module of this guy, which is right now me. I also need to know what exact data. JSON data and curly file data. So this what it is playing. Anyways, that is some other system of mine. Curlyfy to curl response. So I am just curlyfying the entire request which I made using the Python request module, so that I can know that exact what function I have thrown using the, if I have used curl, and I will give this to the main developers, or I will use this to debug it myself. And this is platform independent, so it is easier for me or anybody else who is a developer. So that's how you handle the error part. Try accept now. I need to update grades API. I thought of going upside and just copy it. Actually, I will do that. I am very much bored right now. The last updated part. And this function is margin. Now let's hope this works. What I did, I'll just run the create function. I'll just run Upstox margin grades, and it should show that I have no balance at all. Oh no, I have not printed it. Right now it has not posted anything, which is a good news. Yeah, so you can see the margin function is showing. It is updated my grade variable. Now I will do the positions one. You can watch this entire video, or you can just skip to the delete this video and check the next video. Now I will use the ChatGPT. This is how you can use it totally. We do not need the header. We see the position convert. I don't want to convert. There is no meaning of converting any position, because normal and intraday takes same amount of margin unless you do equity positions, and my no client of mine does equity position. If you do equity position, you can make the function yourself. So it is basically same like the, and the response structure is also same, I guess. Yes, the data, I have to save the data. So it is basically same as margin. So what I will do first, let me first finish and then I will copy it. Okay, I'll just copy it. We all have to do just change the URL bar. That's it. What is the URL here? Positions, data success API. It will go to the positions. The same thing will happen if positions does not come. It will just check the position API is down. Everything else is same. That's how fast everything is. Let me just run it. Oh, I am running the margin one. Sorry. Let's hope it works and shows that I have no position at all. Yeah, it is showing blank data frame, so it means I have no positions at all. So the positions one is done, margin one is done. I need next part is order firing. So let me find that. And before I do that, now actually let me make that a separate video, because this video is getting almost 30 minutes. So you can also skip that video as well if you are bored. I do not know if somebody will like to watch this entire video, but I know I will like to watch, because there are some people who watch porn for their entertainment, and this is my entertainment. I did some. What happened? It is automatically moving. Everything is hanging again. Margin is done. Position is done. And in Raban, I need to add curlyfy. Import curlyfy. Margin position is done. Okay, now I need to do one more thing, which is very necessary, that I'll just deploy it. Okay, so first I will copy the requirement.txt or the setup, and the setup file also. Let me copy from here. Recommend.txt, this license. Let's just copy it anyways. Nobody cares about license. I'll just update the readme later. Yeah, so this is the part I need. So basically I have to go to the Raven and I need to copy whatever I have written there, and I need to see pandas is not a request is external library. Date time you do not need to write. You need to write the curlyfy one. And one more function I used, I do not know I have mentioned it as of now or not, which is traceback. You can see how I use it later on. Curlyfy and everything is fine. Yeah. Now setup.py. Let's name it Pinakin Upstox API. Python library for Upstox. I need to write the unofficial part first. Developer is fine. And what is the link of the GitHub? So this is the actual good part. I wish more people like me start making videos like this, so you can actually see what exactly is happening. Python request and curlyfy. I do not want to write curlyfy again. I'll just copy it. I do not know why I was using SkyPy in that. NSC India, no. The keyword is Upstox. Oops. Up link. I do not know what STK means. I think everything else is fine. And it will oh yeah, sorry. It is 0.1 version. And let me update the readme.md also. What is the name? Pinakin Upstox API. Unofficial Python API wrapper and tutorials, basic tutorials. I will update it later on. It is going to be very famous. Now let's just push it directly. I'm using MOBA Stream. No, I do not want to use MOBA Stream right now. Let me just try Windows PowerShell. I right clicked on it and I have to right click on it again. Buddy, walk please. Also, I do not like to make videos in English. I do not know why I am making. Mostly because I try to make the video in my own mother tongue, but there is very few customers there. And when I make the videos in Hindi, my Tamil friends tell that make in English, and I do not know Tamil otherwise. Anyways, so let me go to the directory. CD space. Now I need to develop this twine. Let me setup.py sdist b st. Actually, you will know exactly what I am trying to do. Done. Doing upload di. I'm creating the distribution to upload. Now you can just use it directly. You do not have to write all this code. I'll show that again. I will also show that. It is very exciting for me. My username is Aaron7 and I'm not going to tell you my password. Let's hope I have written it correctly. Yeah, it is updated. Copy. Oh god. Pinagin Upstox API 0.1. I actually wrote the version number in directly there. I have to delete it because it looks very bad right now. No, it is fine. Oh sorry, I came into the version file. That's why it was showing. Actually, you can install that previous version directly in that way. So next time if you are in the Google Colab, why next time? Let me just make and finish in this video. File. I'm pretty much getting angry because everything is slow. Even the mouse is lagging. It used to do when I used to play Vice City in a dual core laptop. So but it has been a long time since after that. And I will think it will take infinite time. Yeah, it came. Now I can do pip install and you can also do exclamation mark pip install. It will just install it. It should install it without any error. If error comes, I'll just stop the video and debug it in the next video. And as long as it is coming, let me just go here. I need to give this. Yeah, it worked. From Pinakin Upstox API import everything, then run the grids, then do Upstox login. It should work. Oops. I do not know why it is saying that. Maybe because of the minus I have added here. Why is not working? I installed who cares? Let me just do it. I think something to do with the minus part. What if I remove the minus part totally? Oops, I have done it wrong. Yeah, something happened. I have done underscore here and it become minus there. My mouse is dancing in another screen. Let me actually stop this video and try to fix my mouse and stuff. Then I'll come back. It is also taking huge time to stop the video.